Hello, Tungsten Miner here. Well, as you can see, it's been a little while since I made that last video, and I've done a lot in the game since then. Most particularly, I finished building the house, which was still under construction last time I made a video. And I've had all sorts of adventures, made all sorts of cool equipment, as you can see, and more or less explored most of what's in this mod pack. So I can't really take you along that journey, but what I can do is go back through what I've done and kind of shown you how I've gotten to where I am. So I think what I'll do today is just do a really quick tour around all of the things. I won't explain anything or get into any details, but I'll be making future videos in this Let's Play series that go back and revisit individual pieces of all of this and explain how it all came together. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are heading down the main drive towards the house. You may remember last time we talked, this was all just open grasslands and forest and not really much going on. But as you can see, it's been developed into a hedge maze and into an Italian garden. Now we've got this bridge, which I think was already there. The house now is all complete, so a lot of architectural detail you can see here that is from the Chisels and Bits mod. As we go through the main doors, we get into the courtyard, and you can see my hot air balloon, courtesy of Da Vinci's ships. And over here is a landing pad from Advanced Rocketry. Up on top there, we've got an observatory, likewise from Advanced Rocketry. And around the corner, we can see my schooner, which actually is another Da Vinci's Vessels ship. Yeah, you can make them that large. And in fact, that's only about half as big as you can make them. The kitchen garden is now pretty much complete. I've got some empty space in case I happen to find more plants. And then in the back here, I've got my orchard, which is all Harvestcraft stuff. Food for the animals. Managed to capture a bunch of the domesticated animals from villages. And this is a hangar for my aircraft. So from Mr. Crawfish's vehicles mod. Up here then, we'll take a quick tour through the house. This is just storage for gardeny kinds of things, so seeds and trees, saplings, and so forth. Obviously the kitchen, a lot of cooking for blockheads and a few extras. This is the fuelium production plant for powering those vehicles from Mr. Crawfish's vehicles mod. Mostly thermal expansion stuff. Fairly complicated. It's worth talking through at some point. Storage for the fuelium that it produces. Passing through here, this is the garage, which, funny enough, is still empty. I haven't made any of those vehicles because mostly I would get around on my horses. So I've got a bunch of horses and donkeys and mules in here, a couple of wolves. Never did get around to making proper pens or stalls. Maybe I'll do that someday. Through here, we've got the armory. So a bunch of heavy munitions from Mr. Crawfish's guns mod. Some tools from Redstone Arsenal. Navigation equipment from Information Accessories. These ones are from Bibliocraft. That's an antique atlas right there. This is from the Rafts mod. This is from RF Tools. It's a teleporter. So if I get lost or stuck, I can just beam myself back home. This is from the Signpost mod. We've got some armor. This is a spacesuit from Advanced Rocketry, the diving suit from Better Diving. Talk about all of those in a future episode. These are charge pads to charge up your spacesuit with its various gases and whatnot. All of this is for managing satellites, which have a couple of different purposes from Advanced Rocketry. Over here is the rocket fuel plant. It's as complicated as it looks. So yeah, we'll talk about that later. And now let's head upstairs. And we'll just scoot right past this room for now. Okay, starting on this wing of the house, we've got my potions room. So pretty standard vanilla stuff, except for the addition of a bottle filling machine and some shelves from Bibliocraft and some storage drawers. Here we've got some more machines from Advanced Rocketry, plus the beginnings of what you'll see of an automated system for production courtesy of Refined Storage. These are all sequential fabricators from thermal expansion, kind of an early crude version of the computerized version. Over here is my main workshop room, which has gone through a number of evolutions of stacked chests to storage drawers, and now finally to this refined storage solution, which has a ton of automation. All of these things have patterns for making different recipes. Well worth talking about in detail at some later point. More storage, which is now kind of about to get cleared out and turned into something else. I'm not sure what, but we'll see. More machinery. So this is an ore processing chain, which is heavily hooked into the refined storage system. These are machines, some of the bigger machines from advanced rocketry for making silicon-based chips and electronics of various sorts. That's a satellite fabricator back there. Over here is my power storage in the form of a very large energy cell from thermal expansion. And this is my wireless network for accessing all of my storage wirelessly from anywhere around this base. This used to be the power plant, but it's moved, and I'll get to that when we get up to the roof. Over here is the teleportation room. From here, I can choose any one of now quite a few destinations where I and the other players in the game have set up matter receivers. That's this guy. And I can just dial them in, hop on this guy, and get teleported pretty much any place in the universe. Over here, we've got just some simple bedrooms. And in fact, I think I'll take a nap and be right back with you. Okay, good morning. Yeah, that weird visual effect, something to do with advanced rocketry. Anyway, through here, an empty room, which has not even really been finished. I haven't decided what I need this for. And over here, finally, is the enchanting room. And I've got both the low-tech vanilla way of doing it and the high-tech arcane ensorcellator, which is the thermal expansion answer to doing enchanting. Very, very handy. Okay, so now let's head back over to check out the basement, since we're over here. Okay, down here I've got a room for growing netherwort. Here I'm just collecting water for the sink upstairs in the kitchen. Here is that cactus farm that I told you about, and we've got some machinery for actually collecting the cacti as they break off and then running them through the machinery. Unused room. This is my underground marina. So here I've got the submarine, the Seamoth, from the Better Diving mod. And I've also got the jet ski from Mr. Crawfish's vehicle mod, plus another fueling station. This is my jail for this villager. In early days, when we were looking for getting to the end, ender pearls are hard to come by, so I kidnapped him from his village and locked him up down here so I could feed him emeralds and get ender pearls back again. Down here is my nether portal. So I decided to go all out using the dwarven theme from the cathedral mod, and it turned out rather spectacularly. And then nether portal going basically to a nice little home base in the nether. Okay, so heading back upstairs. Empty room. This is the arc furnace from advanced rocketry. Good for making things that require high heat, so baking silicon and steel and all sorts of things. Just a little bit of a coke oven here to get some creosote. I actually burned that early on for power. And then finally over here is my lava room. So anything that requires lava is part of its manufacture. So making obsidian or anything that requires fluid. So this is my dye making station. So that is pretty much the tour of the whole place in a nutshell, very, very quickly, except for the roof. So let's head up there. So first of all, we've got the observatory. Too bad it's daytime now, or you get to see this open up. Very handy for making observations of asteroids and all sorts of other phenomena that you might want to learn about. Here is where the base gets all of its power. So there's a satellite up there, which has some solar panels that beams the power in microwaves back down to this thing and produces a lot of power. And then inside, careful not to burn myself because that does get very hot, I've got overflow storage. So chests and chests and chests and chests of stone and cobblestone and sand and gravel and all sorts of things that you wind up collecting a whole lot of. I tend not to throw anything out at all because it just seems to come in handy once in a while. And here we are back again, right back at where we started. So I think that's it for this video. In future videos, I will dive into the things in much more detail that I just kind of skimmed over here and show how all of these mods work together and how they get combined into one base in Astra. So that's it for now. Talk to you later.